everyone, welcome back to the channel. This will be a review on the Threezero 1/6 scale deluxe version of Leatherface from the absolute horror classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Alright, so forgive the intro voice, folks, it's just got to be done. Here is the piece, and I'm so glad to have this. This was actually sold to us at our store at the Figure Pit by Stefan, one of my viewers, one of my friends, who has been awesome to me, and I've done some trades with him in the past, and he's a big horror fan too. But he sold us the Leatherface figure that you see before you, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it for the collection. So here he is, and I can't wait to get this video done so that I can, now that Trick or Treat Studios have released their 1/6 scale 78 Myers with a box, because all my custom Michael Myers figures don't have boxes, but my other horror figures do, like Leatherface here, he's got his beautiful box. Freddy and Jason by Sideshow, they've got their boxes. My little retro cloth Chucky, which is basically 1/6 scale Chucky, he has a box as well. So now finally the Trick or Treat Studios brought out the 78 Myers. I can't wait to do a video where I have all of those icons of horror on the desk here with their boxes behind them, and I can just pose them up and talk about those movies, and I really can't wait to do that. I love talking about the horror stuff and showing you the horror figures. So I'm really looking forward to reviewing Mr. Leatherface here. The only thing mod-wise that I might do to him, we're going to talk about that during the course of the video, but definitely might try and add a bit more blood and gore, you know, pieces of a little bit of flesh and stuff to his chainsaw blade. It's a little bit clean for me. I like the blood on the apron, that's really well done. And his proportions seem really good as well, and an awesome job on the head sculpt. And because it's the deluxe version, we get the exclusive items of the little meat cleaver, like a dagger, and also this cool little bracelet thing that he's got around his wrist there that helps cover up one of the joints. So the only visible joint now that you can see is this one, and you can kind of angle the fist up like that to hide that joint, so he will look almost seamless on display. But yeah, man, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, 4 years before even Halloween came out. So this is seriously one of the OGs, triple OG. Yeah, man, show some respect. Leatherface in the house. Now, when I first got this figure, I started checking out some of the reviews on YouTube to see what the general vibe was out there in the collecting world. And not all the reviews, but some of them were giving off this kind of attitude as if to say that, Threezero, they did okay with Leatherface. He's not perfect, but it will do. You know, it's alright. That kind of vibe. And I've got to tell you the truth, man, it's better than that. It's much better than that. This is a really, really good figure, and if you're a horror fan, you need him. I needed him for quite some time, but I was just putting it off. I was happy enough with my Freddy, my Jason, my Myers, stuff like that. But Leatherface is such an important part of a horror lineup, and you know, like I said before, the film came out in 1974, 4 years before even John Carpenter's Halloween came out. So this is seriously, it's an important piece, very relevant to our horror collection. And just to set the record straight, Threezero did a fantastic job with this. We'll go into some minor little inaccuracies during the course of the review. Sometimes I think the shirt color is a little bit off, but other than that, and it's a pretty minor thing. It's just sometimes in the film the shirt seems to have a bit of a pink tone to it. It could be wrong, but you know, I'm sure there's different restorations in the movie and, you know, remastered versions where maybe the colors look a bit different, like they do in the 1978 Halloween movie, depending on which version you watch. But yeah, just to set the record straight, and I'll give him a score at the end of the review, but high praise from me for Threezero on recreating Leatherface here in 1/6 scale. It's more than alright. They did better than okay. They did a fantastic job, and this figure is definitely worthy of a spot in your collection. And when I just said Spot, I thought, oh, I hope Review Spot doesn't think I'm talking about him. I did watch Mr. Review Spot's review on Leatherface, and I really enjoyed it, and I think he did a great job. I'm not talking about him when I'm talking about the lukewarm receptions to Leatherface here. I'm talking about some other people. So just to set that straight. I love Mr. Review Spot. He's one of my go-to reviewers. They definitely could have included a stand, though. I mean, that is standard with 1/6 scale figures. He should have a base/stand to hold him up. He hasn't got the biggest feet in the world, so he is prone to maybe tipping over a little bit, especially holding out the chainsaw in front of him. But I haven't had him fall over or anything yet, but they should have included a stand. But other than that, absolutely awesome work from Threezero. Alright, so accessory-wise, he comes with his mallet, hammer, meat tenderizing tool. This is plastic. This is plastic also. I believe this is one of the deluxe editions, as well as this dagger here. Both of these are plastic also, but the meat hook is metal. So that's a nice little touch there. But I wish this had been metal as well. That would have been really cool. The hands are well sculpted. Got some blood detail on some of them as well. So nice detail on the hands, spare wrist pegs, and obviously the chainsaw and the little bracelet here, which was also one of the deluxe thingies that came with him. Wow, that's a good angle right there. It looks like a baseball, his face, because of the stitching. Really, really freaky. Look at the arms, man. I love the arms. You can see the veins in there. He looks imposing. He looks scary. And the blood on the apron, really nice touch. You have to put the apron on yourself, which is easy enough. You just tie it up at the back as you would a real apron. And check out the weathering on the back of this shirt here. It's all over it. But that is some awesome work. Really grimy and nasty. Check that out. I'll just give you a closer look. I mean, the weathering is exceptionally done. Really nice and quite subtle. You know, from far away you don't see it so much, but when you get close up, you notice all the nastiness. Check out the blood on the apron. There's even weathering on the back of his slacks here. Nice and subtle, but it is there. I think the proportions are great on this guy. His shoulders, his back. It all seems in keeping with the bulk of his arms. Alright, now let's take a look at the head sculpt. His eyes are looking up, which makes him look absolutely insane. But then again, if you were to tilt the head down and have him just walking towards you with the chainsaw, then he would be looking forward. I mean, look at that. Look at the eye inside. That looks terrifying with the teeth as well. The teeth are really well painted, folks, and the eyes are really well painted. And I do quite like the looking up sort of choice that they went with for the eyes, because like I said, once you tilt the head down, he's now looking at you. But kind of like Michael Myers, the mask, a nice bit of depth from where the eyes start, so you can kind of get the shadows to fall, and it just looks like two black holes. Now the mask itself, God, look how crazy that looks. Jesus, see, absolutely amazing job here. But decaying flesh tends to yellow, and when I first saw this, some of the pictures I saw, the mask looked a bit kind of just whitish grey, and in person though, it definitely does have that kind of old rotting flesh kind of yellowish tone to it, so that is accurate and very well done. The hair is a little bit fluffy looking, and in the movie it looks a bit more greasy, and you can definitely kind of make out strands more than you can here. So there are ways around that, and once I've done this review, I wanted to review him stock for you and let you see exactly what you'd be getting if you decide to buy him, and I do recommend you do. But I will be putting some kind of product in the hair once I've finished the review, and I'll be doing some little tweaks here and there. Like I said, I'm going to try and bloody up his chainsaw blade a little bit more, get some chunks of flesh hanging off it. But they did an amazing job, man, even down to the lips, and the teeth look nasty, and his eyes are done really well, and a really kind of crazy expression on his face. Dare I say it, a slightly sympathetic character. I'm sure Leatherface wouldn't have turned out quite the way that he did if he hadn't have been raised by that family out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, he was raised by maniacs and psychopaths, and there's even, it's been a while since I've seen the film in its entirety. I've gone back and watched like scenes, famous scenes, and double checked some things with the outfit before filming this. But I do remember one part where he was sitting in a chair on his own, kind of really frustrated and just almost like a child, you know. He never really had a proper upbringing, obviously, so, you know, not really his fault that things maybe went the way they did. I mean, like I said, maybe a slightly sympathetic character. He does horrific things in the film, there's no doubt about that, and yeah. So let's get back to the topic of the mask. You got the kind of stitching around here, kind of gives it that baseball look, and the paint job is more than just a kind of dirty yellow. There's some really nice kind of weathering and just different areas where it's a bit more just darker than others. As you can see around the eye here, some attention has been paid to that. I mean, it's just really, really well done, and absolutely crazy looking eyes. Love that. So top marks for the head sculpt, I gotta say. I think they've done an amazing job with that. It looks fantastic and really freaky. Now I love the arms. They are a kind of seamless, kind of rubber, thick rubber skin over the actual body. You can feel a bit of a gap between the actual arm, you know, that you can move, and then this thick kind of rubber skin over the top. I don't think you'd have to worry too much about this, folks. It feels very tough. But when you do bend his elbow all the way, you will get that kind of unnatural look that happens with these type of arms. But I don't really see any reason why you'd want to bend that elbow all the way. Most folks, I think, will be posing him holding the chainsaw, and I've got him doing that at the moment, and nothing's stressed out. It all looks pretty good. But yeah, I think they've done a great job here with the arms, the veins. Looks really good to me. I like the proportions. I think they look good too. Let's take a nice close-up look at the chainsaw here. Really nice blood spray effect on this area, and you can see how that's done really, really well. And like I said, I will be going in and doing some more blood work to the actual chainsaw blade itself. Definitely going to try and achieve a more gnarly look with bits of hanging flesh. Nothing too big and obvious, but just subtle little. When you really examine it, you'll see little chunks of meat and wet red stuff. But beautiful work on the chainsaw. A nice solid handle as well. It holds onto it really well. And it is an all plastic piece. It would have been cool if parts of it were metal, but that's cool. It looks fine. But all the details are there. And I just love the blood work. Let me just zoom in here. Check that out. And it's really nicely weathered as well with the actual yellow paint sections of the chainsaw. Weathering and age. A lot of thought put into that. I love those little screws there as well. Look at that screw action. Really cool. So yeah, fine work on this instrument of death. It was originally intended for cutting down trees, sir. Well, what are you doing with it? Alright, now I've taken away the chainsaw. I've got the hammer in the hand. I wanted to shoot this from an angle as if he just bonked you over the head with it. You were looking up in absolute shock and terror at your fate. So there is a separation with the body and the arm here at the shoulder, so you're able to rotate this all the way, and that's a separate piece from the actual body, so you wouldn't have to worry about anything getting messed up there. And he's got good bend in the elbow, so you can really kind of tweak this and get it to look just how you want it to look. And the wrist peg situation is really not too bad as far as visibility goes. You can really angle it, even probably better than that, to make it look more seamless. But there's no hideous joints on show. Really like the way that looks. Not too obvious. And like I say, the other one, if you got the deluxe version, comes with that little bracelet thing. So you could always just put a little bit of something around there to conceal that. A little bit of leather, a little bit of leather strapping or something. Now check out his cowboy boots. They are really well sculpted and really well weathered. It's a nice kind of thick plastic, so you got some give there. Oops, he's fallen over. But yeah, these are really well done. Let's have a look underneath. Probably got the Threezero logo there, and trademark 1974 Vortex, and you got all the stuff on there. But these are just really well done. Excellent detail on the cowboy boots. And this little meat cleaver here, that's very small for Mr. Leatherface here. Very small, but cute. It's a cute little weapon. Very nice. Let's just swap out for the dagger. Oh, I might need to pause it, because I don't think that bit's going to go in there very easily. I'll need to do this off camera. This little deluxe edition dagger, knife, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I ain't going to be posing him with that. I'm going chainsaw, man, all the way. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, look at that. Alright, I'm just going to remove his bloody apron here, and we'll take a look at him without it on. Alright, so with the apron removed, you can see the fat suit underneath the shirt. Well, you can't see it, but you can see the effect it has. I think that's really well done. Let's turn him to the front. And nice weathering again on his slacks. That's what I heard Mr. Review Spot call them, slacks. So I'm just copying him. I usually just say pants. I don't know what they are. They cover his legs up, keep him warm in those cold winter nights. But there he is, folks, without his apron on. Definitely, you got to rock him with the apron, though. It's all awesome and bloody. Check that out. Yes, sir. Look at the work on that. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Alright, so I'm going to put that back on him again now, because that's the way it's got to be done. But great proportions, great outfit, great body. Everything's pretty much great. Now the apron is back on. I do use a little bit of blue tack on the tie here just to get it to stick down to the apron to make it look like it's naturally falling. Otherwise it sticks out and it looks really unnatural and weird. So a little bit of blue tack solves that. There he is. Now I will, like I said, once I've done this review and I've shown you the stock figure and given you my thoughts on it, I will be putting a little bit of some kind of product in the hair. I'll show you how that goes. I probably, like I said, I'm going to do a bit of blood work on the chainsaw. And that's probably about it. We'll see what else happens. I do like to tinker around with my horror figures and make them look a little bit more gnarly sometimes. But we'll see. We'll see. This is a very cool look for him. This angle, kind of head tilted down, just looking at you. Holding the chainsaw like that. I think that looks really, really cool. It's definitely a possibility that I might pose him like this on the shelf. Now, when it comes to doing height comparisons, folks, I'm going to save that for the next video, which will be showing this guy with the rest of the horror icons all in a row, and you'll be able to see the height difference between him, Sideshow Freddy, Sideshow Jason, Trick or Treat Studios 78 Myers, and the little retro cloth Chucky by Necker as well, which is basically 1/6 scale. But that's probably my favorite angle so far. That might be the thumbnail. I'm going to have to take a picture of that now, folks. And make sure you check me out on Instagram, because I'm going to be putting up some pics on there. And don't forget to check out the Instagram Figure Pit account and the Figure Pit YouTube channel, because there are also videos of Leatherface on the Figure Pit channel as well. I just tweaked it by adding in the hammer as well. And put the lights a little bit more shining in his face, just a little bit to catch the eyes. Looks absolutely insane. Look at that. He is a freaky looking dude. Double trouble. We got the chainsaw and the hammer. So he means business. It's business time. That's right. I will just give you a couple of little height comparisons here just so you give you an idea, but there will be much better height comparisons coming up in the big horror video featuring Leatherface, Jason, Myers, Freddy, Chucky. So you can see the Sideshow Collectibles Jason next to the Threezero Leatherface, and they are almost the same height. Maybe they are the same height. Maybe Leatherface's hair is just giving him the advantage, but their shoulders seem to be coming to the same kind of near enough the same spot. So there you go. I'll try Leatherface next to a couple of Hot Toys figures just to show you. And here's Leatherface next to the Hot Toys Dawn of Justice regular suit Batman. So Batman's a little bit bigger. Here is Leatherface next to the Hot Toys Predator 2 City Hunter. That seems about right. Well, I don't know. I would have thought maybe the City Hunter would tower over him as well, you know, but I mean, he is taller, but not by that much. I mean, shoulder-wise, they're pretty much at the same spot. It's just because the Predator has that kind of longer, taller head. I don't know. But that's how that looks anyway, just to show you. And here's Leatherface next to the Blitzway Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters, which is another new figure for my collection. Again, thanks to the Figure Pit, he came into stock, and I was able to part exchange some bits and get Peter Venkman, and part exchange some bits and got Leatherface here as well. And you guys can do the same thing. We buy figures from collectors in the UK. You can part exchange with us, and if you do sell us some stuff, we can even send a courier to come and collect it from your house, taking the stress and the pain out of selling on your wares. Make some space in your collection for something new, or help fund something new. Check us out, folks, at our website, www.thefigurebit.com. We've got some amazing stock at the moment. There he is, next to Peter Venkman, and that doesn't look right to me, height-wise. I'm pretty sure Leatherface would be considerably taller than Venkman here. But just to show you how that looks, two completely different companies, Blitzway, Threezero. But look out for the Peter Venkman review coming up soon on the channel. Should be fun. Alright everyone, going to wrap up the review. Don't want to keep you here too long. Now, I give him an 8 out of 10, which is a nice solid high score. He should have come with a stand. I don't know why he didn't. That's a head scratcher these days. A nice name plaque with some blood spray would have done the job. He also could have included some of that weird furniture that they made out of human parts, faces and stuff, like a lamp made out of a face. Would have been interesting. But yeah, really good stab at Leatherface here by Threezero. I think they did a fantastic job. And if you are a 1/6 scale collector and you have yourself a bit of a horror collection and you don't have Leatherface, very much the same situation I was in, you think you'd need to get him, man. He is absolutely excellent. I would definitely recommend him. Good score, 8 out of 10. Get yourself a little generic stand for him to stand on, maybe bloody it up a little bit, and you're on to a winner. Look out for more videos featuring this figure coming up very soon on the channel. The next video I intend to do, like I said at the beginning, will be this Leatherface with this box and the Trick or Treat Studios Myers, Sideshow Freddy, Sideshow Jason, and NECA Chucky will all be in a row together, and we're going to see them all on the desk here. I'm going to share my thoughts on them, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. So drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the Figure Pit channel on YouTube as well. And check us out at our store, The Figure Pit, at www.thefigurebit.com. We got some incredible stock in at the moment. Alright guys, take it easy. See you soon.